What's up, boys? Welcome back. My name is Thailand, and today we're discussing why men with high testosterone have better and rougher sex. Now, before I continue any further, you're going to be considering, like, who the fuck is this guy, and how does he have any credibility to talk about this topic? So we're just going to get straight into that. I guess in the internet these days, what you need to do is put pictures of yourself with attractive women or lots of women. So that's what I've done. Look, in 2021 and 22, I went through like a year of intensively obsessing about getting better with girls. As cringe as that might sound to you, that was really, really important to me because at the time I had a lot of self-belief issues. I never thought that I could be with attractive women, let alone have sex. Like at the time I was a virgin, 20, 21 years old, whatever, and yeah, I just wanted to break the veil. So I absolutely obsessed about becoming better with girls. So therefore, I dated quite a few girls. I got a lot of experience. I made a lot of girlfriends, like platonic friendships, and also lots of like, different sexual romantic relationships. So I've been in there, I've done that, and now also I've experienced both sides of sexual intercourse. The part where you're soft, you're unenergetic, you're not performing to the best, and the part where you're like almost engulfing the woman that you're having sex with your complete male energy and your presence, and you're taking away all her problems, all her worries in the moment, and you're giving her the most incredible experience that you can as a man with your male energy. And I'm going to try to explain that in this video. And I essentially want to convince you that eating clean, focusing on your hormones, focusing on your testosterone, lifting, living like a man, doing stressful things, improving these aspects of your life, improving your looks, generally not only do they improve your sexual performance as a male, you get to perform better, do more incredible positions, last for longer. You get to literally carry your woman and like throw her around, use, you know what I mean? Like this physical raw power. But on top of that, the compliments, the look that you get from your woman, who is just absolutely melting in the moment from watching you fuck her with six-pack 3D abs with this amazing chest and a beautiful face and beautiful facial hair that you've looked after, and you're not stopping. You are so energetic, you're moaning, you're loud, right? Guys, this is a conversation we need to have, right? Because deep down inside, you want to dominate. If this sounds cringe to you, you are the exact person that wants to do this. The reason it sounds cringe to you is because deep down inside in your subconscious, you have accepted that there is something wrong with dominating women. And I used to be the same person. Now, this video, I'm not going to talk about self-beliefs and identity. There is so much to talk about that. We are only talking about one specific aspect of this, which is sexual performance, which is both your woman's satisfaction and whether this really doesn't matter if you're in a relationship or not, and your own satisfaction each time you have sex. I want you, after this video, to go through and take some actionable steps to increase your male energy, your testosterone, and then practice this so that you can have more satisfying, more primal, more animalistic sex with your woman. That's what I wish for you, because let me tell you, it is just fucking incredible. It is so fulfilling, as opposed to just doing the actions, as opposed to just getting a blowjob and doing it missionary style and not even touching and caressing your woman. As opposed to doing that, this method, I'm telling you, is so much better. So let's get into the story. Our beliefs tell us that this is wrong. But on top of that, we also don't feel capable of it due to our own self-image. We're out of shape, low energy, no presence, low testosterone. We just feel weak. Our body looks skinny, we feel frail, we don't feel like we can dominate a woman simply because we don't look like it. What if changing our self-image, guys, literally physically and biologically, is the way to change our beliefs about these things, and therefore enjoy better, more primal sex as we truly want deep inside? I wanted this, man. I wanted this for so long, and I know guys are out there. You guys want it too. It's just we think that this is wrong. But what I found is changing your self-image, looking more like the man who has this kind of sex, allows you to change that through action, right? There are multiple ways we can change our beliefs. We can change them by working on the root cause of the belief and literally deciding that it doesn't work for us anymore. This is more complex than this. Or we can start doing the actions that tell us that we are this new person. In this case, we're doing the actions. Okay, we're not talking about the self-belief things. Because for me to do that, I would need to like work one-to-one with you. I would literally need to speak to you every day and help you with your limiting belief system. So I can't do that in this video. Now, I'll now tell you the stark differences between the two. So low testosterone sex, high testosterone sex. Now, I'm only using testosterone because it's easy to understand. What I really mean is male energy, guys. Male energy, okay? Testosterone, it's a salesy word. It's marketable, okay? That's the only reason I'm using testosterone. But the real word to use here is male energy. I was a virgin during my 8-month relationship with my first girlfriend. So I was 19 years old, 2019 to 2020, excuse me. 8 months with my first girlfriend, and I was a virgin during our relationship simply because of my self-image, body, and looks. We had pretty much done everything but sex up until this point. And we tried having sex a few times. I remember the first few times that I tried, 1 to 2 times. As soon as I put the condoms on, I just went soft, and I just became so embarrassed and so anxious in the moment. And that was mainly due to belief systems at the time, but also it was my self-image. It was my body. It was the way I looked. It was my penis size, which you can't really change, right? But that was like the worst I could experience, you know. That was even considering I got a girlfriend at the stage, you know. Some people don't even get girlfriends. But again, this video is more for people who are already having sex, okay? But even if you're not and you want to have sex, which is 100% fine, it is more than fine. It is such a honorable goal for you to want to have sex because it's such a primal desire, okay? It's literally like loneliness is the biggest killer in the world. And having sex cures loneliness. So you're literally living for longer if you have sex. So I commend you if you want to have sex. Working on your self-image, your body, your attractiveness, how well you look, and how well you feel in your own body is going to be one of the most important ways to get there. On top of self-image, self-belief issues and mindset issues and confidence issues and whatnot, okay? But changing your physique, as you know, is one of the greatest ways to build confidence, guys. I mean, come on. Look at this physique. I've been building this for the past few days more consistently. I'm back on my journey, and I've been getting a massive tan. I'm working, eating super clean. Guys, my skin looks clear. Everything looks amazing, okay? Now, let's get into the next part of this story. So I dated a few times after that, but with bad performance. So I broke up with my girlfriend, okay? And a year went by where I just felt completely alone. And during this time, I told myself, you know what? Fuck it. I need to solve this problem that I have with women. So I just put my entire year and a half into just getting better with women. Long story short, this is, again, the part I'm not teaching you in this video is I got a few dates. So I attracted the girl. You know, I did the texting, I got a few dates, and after those few dates, I slept with a few of the girls. So I already did that part, okay? Which, again, I'm not teaching you. The part I am teaching you is the sexual experiences that I had with these women. When I first started, the first time I had sex, guys, and boys, it's just boys, come on, okay? Like, I'm going to have this conversation with you because this is important. This is literally a primal desire. Sex is a primal desire. And you know what's crazy? There is a number of people in this world, a percentage, who will never have sex. Isn't that fucking crazy, guys? Just by sheer statistics. A number of people in this world will never ever get to have sex, and that's incredible to me. So my first sexual encounter I had was with my ex-girlfriend, who I was in a relationship with, who I was a virgin with. We actually met up a year after we broke up, and we had sex for the first time. She came over, and we had sex, right? It worked. My dick got hard. Cool, it worked. But bro, I was just so like soft. It was my first time having sex. Cool, no worries, right? But I was so soft and so like I let her do everything. She was always on top, you know? And I could tell she was kind of moaning for the sake of it. And at the end, she was like, "Oh, how was that for you?" You know? And I asked her, "How was that for you?" And she's like, "Yeah, good." And I could tell like it was mediocre, you know? And I felt like a cuck. I felt weak. I felt like a bit disappointed in myself. I'm like, man, you know, you're like this good looking guy. You've got nice abs. You know, how the fuck are you fucking this up? Anyhow, that was my first experience. After that, a few times we met up a few times more. After that, maybe 4 or 5 times, and every time we met up, we pretty much fucked. So I probably had sex like with her a few times, and every single time it got a little bit better. Right, I started to get more into my male energy. I was like, okay, I'm feeling this thing, you know, it got a bit better. And generally, what happens is the more sex you have, the more testosterone you have because you're around women and you're having sex. So your body generates that testosterone to use it. If you're not having sex, your testosterone isn't going to be that high, okay? So that's one tip for you. But after the few times, the sex started improving. You know, I started to be able to last for however long I wanted. I was a bit more thing. But it wasn't until later on my true like this performance I'm talking about really started to happen. Okay? Which I'll actually get into in just a few minutes. But the first few times I had sex was just normal sex, right? Missionary style, a few minutes, you know, you bust and then you cuddle for a bit. And every time, and when you're having sex, you know, you might slap her ass a few times, and you might cuddle her tits a few times, but you won't. And I'll tell you the things, you know, that you might be able to do to improve your sexual performance and generally your sex life in after this slide. But that was it. It was vanilla sex. Okay, it was nothing to go crazy about. It was nothing where I could see my girl's day had just 100x improved simply because we had sex. Maybe it improved 5 times. It was like, yeah, whatever, nice, cool, I got some dick, cool. Now, here comes the other side. This is funny. When I just relaxed, I got some. Boys. I'm telling you, when I relaxed, and this is the funny thing, high testosterone isn't this like, ooh, you know, oh, I'm the man, you know, guys, oh, you know, make way for me. No, high testosterone is actually the calm guy, the calm alpha male, the calm, collected, you know, the one who lays back, looks around, makes a few jokes, talks, but is calm. But when he needs, he can switch that shit on, and that's what I'm talking about. When you relax, you get into your male energy, and you get some. You get more. You get more than some, man. I had a few women I was seeing during the time, and my performance completely changed. I could last as long as I wanted. I dominated, was rough but passionate, and the thing was, I wasn't doing it intentionally. That's the thing. I was just lost in that almost haze of energy, and so was she. That's the most important part. This isn't just like, oh, have better sex, because this isn't, you know, dominate your woman so you can fulfill some sort of egoic fantasy. This is dominate your woman so both your own fulfillment and hers improves. And you guys just become addicted to fucking each other. That's essentially what I want for you. By the end of this story, I want you and your woman to become addicted to fucking each other. This is the kind of experience that unlocks when you're able to fully channel your male energy during sex, and it takes your performance to the next level. So, this is the story. During Thailand, my trip to Thailand with this woman here, we actually saw each other for a few months. And let me just go back to that story. We were seeing each other for a few months, and she was a literal model, like an international model, okay? And this was the most attractive girl that had been at the time. And so long story short, when I was in Thailand, I was living my best life, like literally my best life. I was working as a yoga studio manager. I was literally like daddy in a leadership position. All the students around me were women. This is the bottom story. This is from the same trip. These are the students. Okay, I'm a student here as well. But then after this photo, I become a manager. So all my students are women. I'm dating this amazing woman. I'm living my best life. I'm on a tropical island, watching sunset, sunrise. My diet is peaked. My lifestyle is peak. Everything's dialed in, guys. So I'm in my male testosterone energy. So her and I would go to the beach at night and just fuck on the beach for hours. We would like wake up in the morning and fuck in the bed while people were sleeping, unfortunately. There were times where nobody would be in the dorm and we would just fuck for hours, like next level, like talking to each other, grabbing her hair and pulling it, slapping each other, caressing and like clawing her body and, almost biting her ears and these kind of things, this like primal sex where you both get completely lost. And she's doing the same thing. She's reciprocating. She's, clawing your back, pulling your hair, telling you how much she loves it and how much this is. And this is insane. And then it all explodes into this intense thing. She finishes, reaches orgasm, and she's like, holy fuck, what is happening? You reach orgasm, and by the end, you guys are both like, holy fuck, what just happened? Had another experience. I'll tell you this story as well. There was this Spanish girl that I met, 30 years old, quite nice looking, and I met her at the airport on the way back to Sydney from Thailand. And we spoke and we kept in touch, and the first time we had sex, I had a bit of anxiety because I had been out of the game for a while, for like a few months. I hadn't had sex for a few months during that period. And so the first time we got back, it was a bit like, whatever. And then as soon as I got my flow back, because, every time we were next to her, I was leading, I was in that energy, my testosterone was high, I was eating clean and everything. My biology, my hormones were good. And once I get confident with her and more comfortable with her, when it was time to perform, guys, I'm telling you, like, if you relate to this, if you relate to any of my stories so far, you will know how much better it feels when you're having sex like this, as opposed to this like frail, weak, uncomfortable way of having sex where you're limiting how much you're touching each other and none of you are making a sound and everything's so quiet. Does that make sense? As opposed to the screaming and the shouting. So I'm having sex with this girl one time. She comes over and we are fucking like, I'm pummeling fast, and the thing is, I've got the stamina and the energy because, again, I'm lifting, I'm working on my hip exercises, I'm eating clean, my testosterone is high, all these things play a part. I'm doing 10K steps per day, my health is high, so I've got all the stamina to be pumping, having amazing sex, non-stop. She's shouting, she's starting to moan. You know what I mean, guys? This is the experience that you can have when you build a physique that's attractive and high performance, and you focus on your hormones and your testosterone and your male energy. Now, again, I've mentioned some people struggle with the self-beliefs and the self-identity and the image, and that mostly comes from negative self-beliefs. In this video, I'm not going to talk about that, and I don't plan to talk about how to be able to fix those in this channel. I want to talk more about becoming healthy, becoming attractive, and that improving your sex and dating life. That's the kind of thing I want to talk about. So we're talking about more physical things, about diet, about ways you can dress yourself, what muscles to build, how to improve your looks and your face. And one of the things that's going to improve your sexual performance is completely dialing into your male energy. And the way I'll put it is this, okay? This is how you'll know. There'll be a moment when you're having sex with the girl. Everything's starting a bit slow and mundane, vanilla. But then you'll want to almost just let go. But you'll feel a bit of judgment around that. You'll feel like a bit of resistance. You'll feel like, I want to let go. I just want to absolutely just grab this woman and throw her on the bed right now. You might be doing it missionary, and you're just thinking, you're getting like so fucking turned on. But in your mind, you're saying, no. This isn't. In that moment, you just have to let go and completely let your primal desires take over. And I'm telling you, your experience will fly to the next level, boys. Completely to the next level. So, we'll end it there, guys. Essentially, the healthier your hormone levels are holistically meaning your hormones are good, your body is good, your energy levels are good, your mind is good, your stress levels are good, the better your sexual performance. Subscribe to see my related videos. If you want to become your most attractive, energetic, and best looking way, in a healthy way, to help you in your dating and sexual life, you can go to the first or the second link in the description or the comments and find a way to work with me. I do offer 30-minute free calls, by the way, so go ahead and check that out for sure. And I hope this was very helpful for you, man. I'm telling you guys, You focus on this, you focus on really becoming this hyper masculine character, and your sex and dating life completely skyrockets and it changes. Now that I'm talking more about this and I'm shifting my kind of, perspective towards this, I'm starting to go out a bit more and start dating a bit more as well. So I'll be, in the game more right now, practicing what I preach. I'm telling you guys, it fucking works, man. And I wish the best sex life for you. I wish the most fulfilling sex life for you, because it is honestly amazing. I've been on a lonely chapter for the past year. I haven't dated. I've avoided dating or having sex at all, for other reasons. But now that I'm going to get back into it, guys, I'm telling you, a good sex life is both. It's a double-edged sword for a man. It's incredibly comforting, but it's also incredibly motivating. Okay? Keep it up, boys. Build an amazing physique, and I'll see you on the other side.